Okay, well, hello everyone. I hope you all are having a great time and doing well. As you know, there is a lot that goes behind protecting our nation, from confidential meetings to on ground intelligence reports. A critical element of all of this is RNAW, the Research and Analysis Wing of India's intelligence agency, which plays a vital role in India's foreign strategic interests. And so, joining us today on the occasion of Bharat Dialogue, we have an exceptional guest, Mr. Vikram Sood, the former chief of RNAW.
Vikram sir had served as RNAW chief from 2000 to 2003 and retired then after serving the nation for 31 years. So without further ado, I, on behalf of BITS Embryo, would now like to welcome Mr. Vikram Sood. Good evening, sir. It's a pleasure to host you today, and we look forward to having an excellent and impactful session with you today.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me on your show. I'm sorry I couldn't do it last week because I had problems with my eyes, but that's fine now. And thank you, Harman. Thank you, Vats, for being with me on this show. So let's get started straight away.
Yes, sir. Since this session is attended primarily by college students, sir, what are your thoughts about college education, and college life? How did your college life influence the decisions that you took later in your life?
Well, that's a very good question. Let me also say that 60 years ago, I was in my first year of the postgraduate. So there's a lot of time, 60 years have gone, or 63 since I joined college and now. And college in those days was a lot different from colleges today. Because we were younger than you guys when we joined college, and we were fewer. At my college, we were only 400 of us.
Okay.
So we were all probably first name terms with everybody. Everybody knew everybody. So that's what a college was those days. It was suddenly, you finished school, and 2 months later you're in college, and you think you've now suddenly grown up. You're a man, you can do lots of things that you couldn't do at school. And, those days one really didn't think of your career in the same organized manner as you guys do now.
Mm.
You do a particular course and you know what you want to do next because it automatically fits into your system. We didn't have that in college. We had either you could do history honors, economics honors, English honors. I was at humanities college that didn't have. They had a science portion, but basically this was this is what the college really did. So we after college, after graduation, the choices were you could join the corporate world if you had the right connections. You could take the IAS, the civil service exam, or you could join the armed forces and just be a layabout and continue studying. So I was one of those who selected the civil service route for a livelihood post graduation. And in '66, I joined the Indian Postal Service and was with them till I switched loyalties. So it wasn't an organized decision in the manner we do nowadays. We chart out our careers in a much more focused manner, much more deliberate manner. And our lives were a little easy, as if I might say. You guys have a lot more competition, a lot more studies to do. So college was fun. I don't know whether BITS is fun or not, but college for me was great fun. We studied a bit and got along into doing other things in life after graduation. I did my post-graduation also in college. Oh, who's this chap? How do I get rid of him? Sorry, I got a call coming in. Anyhow, sorry. Where were we? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
So that's how it was in college. It wasn't. Intense competition that I see kids doing now, or I think that's what happens in college nowadays. But we had an easy time and moved on to in the civil service.
Right, sir. I also have my grandfather. He's a mechanical engineer as well, and he tells me stories of his college time. So I could really relate to that right now.
Yeah.
Sir, you said you were in Indian Postal Service employee as well. So what does serving in such prestigious capacities do to a person in terms of their thinking and overall personality?
It's it's a part of growing up. When you get into the service, you think you arrived. I mean, now it's steady. It's going to be like this, and this is my life. And you jockey for postings, you jockey for locations. Earlier years, I spent only 5 years in the postal service. I was I served in two posts in the postal service. Then I joined the RAW. It's a matter of growing up, really. It's a matter of understanding how bureaucracy works, how you're supposed not to say a few things, how you're supposed to say a few things only. Speak when asked to speak, not speak out of turn, especially when the boss is there.
Right.
Part of disciplining. And I did most of my time the first 5 years were in Delhi. So I'm a Delhi person. I was educated in Delhi, and school and college. And thereafter, when we got into the RAW, it was a whole new world. It was totally different.
So what drove you towards joining RNAW and serving your nation?
At that time I thought, look, I have got 36, 35 years ahead of me. Am I going to spend all my time here? It didn't, there's nothing wrong with the service or the people there, but it didn't enthuse me. I didn't fancy myself doing the same job for the next 35 years of my service. 36. I wanted some excitement in life. And the RAW was formed in 1968. Okay. I joined service in 1966. So by the time a few years elapsed, there was this buzz about the RAW. That's the place to be in. That's where they train. It was very exciting. Whole new world. So naturally, curiosity led me to try to find out more. And one day I just found myself being interviewed by an officer, and then a few months later, I was asked if I'm agreeable to joining. I said, "Boy, yes, surely." And I got seconded, as they called it those days, or sent on deputation first to the RNAW 72. So from 72 March to March 2003, I remained with RAW and never regretted it. Never.
That was really intriguing, sir.
It was fascinating. It was fascinating.
Sir, so you said your job was fascinating, you liked it. But again, with such important and responsibility, a job that includes such a responsibility, there must be a lot of stress in your professional life as well.
Lot of stress. Lot of stress.
How did you encounter that stress and the fear of failure, and what if things don't go right and all?
You know, Herman, there was no fear of failure as such, because in that trade you learn that failures in your, failures do happen. Success is limited. Like, it's not like going and buying a box of chocolates at the market. You got to raise a source from absolutely nothing. You got to first convince him that you would be good to work with us. Sometimes you don't even tell him where you're working, and you still want information from him. So we are trained how to do all that. And stress used to come when you've launched an operation, and then there is silence for a period longer than you think it would happen. Then the worry gets in. Then you start to think, kya hoga? And that these kinds of things in many other forms happen. Stresses of this kind of operational requirements. Or you have very good information, but there is a doubt, some doubt whether the authenticity of, so you can't hold it back, you can't send it. That causes a different kind of tension. And then you decide whether you're going to take a plunge and set it off and tell the government, because the reports go to the government.
Right.
Those are the stresses that you get. And most of us develop the habit of tackling threats like everybody does. An alternative fallback. Somebody plays bridge at night, somebody goes for golf in the daytime, on Sundays or Saturdays. But after a few years, it becomes a part of life. Work begins very early in the morning. There are sometimes no Saturdays, no Sundays, no dinners. You just continue working. And because every day it's new. Every day it's a different situation. More or less, I'm exaggerating a bit, but the chances that you will find a different problem tomorrow is quite likely. So you have to tackle those kinds of situations. Yes.
So as you mentioned that this becomes a part of your life.
Yeah.
So there must be a lot of personality changes that a person incurs from when they start this kind of job to their end. So what do you think were the changes in personality in you?
I think you start off with being a carefree person. You don't, you join ordinary, regular civil service. Here you join the system where you hold your secrets to yourself. You're first to learn how not to talk too much. Or talk only when on your subject, not talk about anybody. Don't show any curiosity about the other man's job. It's not done. So you can't walk into another chap's room and ask, "Why, kya kar raha hai tu aaj?" You don't do that. So you learn to be cautious, learn to double check everything. Double check. If he has told me something, I want to check it out. Unless it's an absolute reliable person, I will check it out from other sources if I have the means.
In this process, what were the significant learnings in your life?
Significant learning of my wife's life. I learned that you must always be, when you're reporting to government, you must always be sure what you're saying and be able to stand up or, stand up to what you've said. I'm good for my word.
Right.
That is the first thing you have to we have to learn that I'm signing off a report on the security for the security of the country. I can't be waffling along and sending any old thing. So I have to be very, very careful what I'm going to tell the government. That is the first thing. Your family has to learn a lot. Not to be, they are the great support. And if you don't have that, that's a big problem. They have to understand that this man is going to not tell me what's happening in office. If he's worried today, leave him alone. He'll sort it out himself, because they can't do anything. They can't really do anything for that. So I have to tackle it with me and my colleagues, how to handle a particular situation. It's most exciting how you're developing a situation, developing an operation. So those days, they're also tense, also exciting. Your adrenaline flows. And there's great joy. We don't get medals. We don't get celebrated. We don't hold victory parades. But when something goes right, we just sort of say, thank you very much. Good night. Tomorrow is another day. That's how it is. That's how we guys used to work.
Right, sir.
So, sir, as someone with a deep understanding of global security and security issues and geopolitics, what advice would you like to give young professionals aspiring to work in intelligence and national security?
Well, it's a very good topic. It's a very vast topic now. Everything can be made to relate to security. It's commercial. A lot of it is now commercial corporate intelligence, not so much just political or military intelligence or satellite or missile intelligence. It's a lot is corporate. And as we grow as a country, as our economy grows, our economic interests will also be affected. So the government would want us to tell them what is happening economically with our rivals, what are Chinese corporates doing, or the Chinese government is doing, or even the Americans or the British, whoever is your competitor. They would want to know in advance. So economic intelligence is going to be a huge factor. Technical intelligence. This is going to be a huge, huge thing, both for use as a tool and as information to tell the government, because cyber wars and artificial intelligence wars and something called, quantum computing. I don't understand that at all. So those are the future. That's where we're headed. So our skills have to match the requirements of the government. And our skills have to cater to reportage of the same kind that tells the government. So I see a change in the recruiting pattern. It would be necessary to employ experts like you guys, for doing particular kind of analysis. I mean, you give me a machine to handle. I don't know the first thing about it. There has to be an expert telling me what it's going to do, what's it capable of doing. So we will have to, I presume the government is planning on that, expand your systems, your means of your talent pool, as it were. Scientists, economists, mathematicians, linguists. Many of the discussion documents are in other languages than English. So you've got to have those people helping us. Psychologists. So language expertise, professional expertise, subject expertise is going to be required rather than just routine political economic intelligence, political military intelligence. So I would think there's a lot of scope for the intelligence agencies going corporate, as it were. And so if you ever have a change of heart, maybe they will be an offer coming. So for youngsters willing to serve the country, and it's going to happen quite soon, I think, this kind of requirement.
That was really insightful, sir. We usually hear about how modern technology, how modern technology has impacted various jobs. So, how has the digital age transformed the landscape of intelligence gathering and analysis? I'm sorry for my voice.
You know, I'm going to be talking mostly now out of conjecture, because when I was working, when I was serving, we didn't have mobile phones. I mean, we didn't have smartphones. We had only an instrument that was this big, and it only could dial numbers. And the cost of each call was phenomenal. So it was more a status symbol than anything else. The computers had arrived, but we were working on 286 power, and so on and so forth. So it was all in infancy at that time. Internet, there was no such thing as WhatsApp. Never heard of this. There was no social media. There was none of these gadgets, Facebook. No one had heard of artificial intelligence. So now we've got all these things to handle. And it's going to, the amount of material that's out there, if you started downloading like the Americans are doing, billions every day, now you got to have a downstream requirement of manpower or machine power to analyze that, to sift it from the garbage for what you want. And then somebody's got to analyze it. There's got to be experts doing that. So where you will get more and more technological, you will also require more and more manpower. Because a written word means differently from a spoken word. And an expert can handle a spoken word. They can analyze, experts know that when Vikram Sood is speaking in a particular manner, he's hiding something. When he's not hiding, his tone is different, because they've been listening to him for weeks or months.
Right, sir.
They know that. But a machine, I don't think, can do that, unless they've invented some algorithm which can tell you. I have no idea about these kinds of things. I'm only imagining that while technology would be a great aid, it will be a big weapon also. But you also cannot, I think, do away with human manpower to analyze and report. So the work ahead is going to be really, really enormous. And I'm glad it's not my time. It's far too much, far too exhausting. And it's instant, an instant. Today you can have, as you know, on social media, you can create a situation in 10 minutes all over the country.
Yes. Sir, so today youngsters are influenced by what they see on social media and movies. How real do you feel the spy movies portray spies and their lives? I think there's a network issue. We'll be right back.
Hello everyone, this speaker has been disconnected due to some network issues. He will join us shortly. Till then, please stay tuned.
So can you hear us?
Yeah. How do you prevent calls from coming in? I got disconnected because there were 2 calls. Suddenly they came up. And sorry.
That's fine. That's
I'm
fine.
sorry about that.
Yes, sir. So I was asking how today youngsters are influenced by what they see on social media and what they see on movies.
Yeah.
How real do you feel the spy movies portray spies and their lives?
Well, some of the Hollywood movies really superb.
Okay.
And some of it is trash there. But our movies, I'm afraid we have a long, long way to go. And they're totally out of sync with reality. But it's fun. You can watch Ekta Tiger for a couple of hours and never think about it again. Or any other similar film. I've not seen there are some good series that have come out, yeah, but I haven't seen, I've not yet, unless I've missed it, a real good Hindi or Indian thriller on intelligence. There are glimpses sometimes. Madras Cafe had a lot of stuff that was close to reality. It was a good movie. Otherwise, I don't remember. I don't think they represent the real spy world. But yes, a lot of the English serials or movies have been very good. And if you want to watch them, those are the ones. Like this movie, the Bridge of Spies.
Right, yes, sir.
And there's one, Jean Le Carre's 2 or 3 movies. One was The Tailor of Panama. One was The Constant Gardener, and the famous serial Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. And what was it called? The Man Who Came Out from the Cold. Typical Cold War Russian thriller, Russian-American espionage thriller. Really good. So if we can learn to do that, I'm sure we can. What else?
So, sir, on the same line of the previous question, spies are like usually considered cool among today's teenagers because they are influenced by various movies and stuff. So what do you think brings this coolness factor according to you?
No, What exactly is coolness?
By coolness, I mean to say, like they're very much interested in doing the same thing like the spies do, and then want their
Or
career to
role
be
models,
on the same
role
line.
models, role
Yes,
models.
role models. Yes.
I don't think, well, it has an advantage. If the role model is somebody in the movie, however bad the movie is, and if that encourages a bright young man like yourselves to go and join the intelligence agency, it has served its purpose, even if the movie may not be good. The only thing is, you will find that the reality of an espionage world is different from the reality of the movies. And that could be a big disappointment. And, it's not as if I went around my career with a gun in my hand and had an Alfa Romeo to drive around. No, it wasn't like that. It was much more staged and we worked slowly. Nowadays, you do a lot of work on computers and mail and stuff like that. That time we used to have physical meetings and exchange of documents, surreptitious meetings. These days, I imagine they happen, but maybe it's different. You can now do distant meetings.
Right, sir.
So they'll have to get adjusted to new ways of operating, new ways of reporting, new ways of analysis. Everything is a churn now.
Yes, sir. Sir, could you share a notable achievement or project that you're particularly proud of in your career?
We are only known by our failures.
Right.
I can't talk about any success. Sorry.
That's fine.
Right, sir, not an issue. So moving forward, since we just completed 4 years of Article 370 being abolished, that is on 5th August this year. So what are your thoughts on it, and how has India and specifically Kashmir evolved since then?
I think this Article 370 should have been removed long ago. You cannot have one country with two constitutions and two flags.
Yes.
It is just not possible. And that's not. It's a sad state of affairs. And there we were against the idea of a two-nation theory. But by allowing this, we had sort of agreed to that Kashmir can be different from the rest of us. Why? But remember, Article 1 of our Constitution lists Jammu and Kashmir as one of your states. Therefore, Article 370, by giving it special privileges, was going against this. With having removed this anomaly, I think things are now looking much better in Kashmir than they were before. Did you see any demonstration? Any riot after that? That Hamara Article 370 go? No. It is an opportunity for the Kashmiri to come out. It's an opportunity for the rest of the country to go into Kashmir. You cannot also have a law that if a Kashmiri woman marries outside Kashmir, she loses the right to her property. That's a ridiculous state of affairs.
Right, sir.
So, and then they had made use of this Article 370 also to exclude those Kashmir, those Indians would come from, now Indians would come from Kashmir, from Punjab, Pakistan, and settle there because they were of a lower caste. So a person like that could get admitted to college, be a graduate, be a doctor, but would not get a government employment. So, and that Kashmiri resident would not vote for his MLA or MP or MLA or the municipal councillor, but he could vote for the MP. You know, the anomalies have to go. Kashmir is going, India is going to be governed by one constitution, not two. So it was coming, it has come, and it has been done well. We did it in a manner in which, of course, the Supreme Court is doing a hearing. I don't know what they will decide, how they will decide. But to me, it appears that it was the right thing to do. And we'll be the better off after this. Because the gains from this went only to a certain section of the Kashmiri society, not to everybody. And all that has gone now. So it's now 4 years. There has been no protest, no demonstration, no nothing. And let's hope everything works out well for us.
Yes, sir. That was a great answer indeed. We would also like to know your views on the recent Ukraine-Russian conflict, and what do you feel about the stance of India on the same issue?
You know, this is a very complicated, not a complicated, a controversial issue. Not for India. I'm talking about. You know, you perhaps know that when the Soviet Union broke, the NATO countries in the West asked Warsaw Pact to pack up, close shop, and they also said that we will not move, NATO will not move an inch eastward. This was said in 91.
Yes, sir.
But they never adhered to that. They kept pushing, you know, Poland to join in, Czechoslovakia to join in, etc. The Baltic states. So NATO kept moving eastward. That was when Putin came and became president. Quite early on, he said, when they started making overtures to Ukraine, he said, if you do that, that's a red line for me. Don't do it. And he said it very often. But they didn't stop. They organized a coup in 2014, removed the government, then had Zelensky elected, then encouraged him further, armed him. And one day, Putin just told them, I'm coming. He went to China, did a deal with the Chinese. I imagine he did, came back and attacked. And I do believe that Russia, with its immense depth and its immense resilience, remember how they pushed back Napoleon, they pushed back Hitler. And that's the country you're dealing with now.
Mm.
And you're dealing with it through a proxy. And the Americans have a great fixation about Ukraine, about Russia. There's a sworn enemy kind of thing. So they just don't want Russia to be around or become incapacitated. So this is a proxy war which is going on, which the Americans are fighting to the last Ukrainian against Russia. And I don't think they're succeeding. In fact, I think they're going to be in the same kind of mess. Well, not the same, but similar kind of mess as they were in Afghanistan. And the Indian stance is, I think, perfectly fine. We're not going to solve your problems for you. We're not going to fight your wars for you.
Mm.
But we don't like wars, and what Putin did was probably not the right thing to do. Well, he's done it now. Now you face it. You've actually provoked him into it. So our stance is good. We are willing to help them negotiate. But I don't think the Americans are ready for that yet. And the Americans are going into election mode now, soon.
Right.
Ah,
Hmm.
so anyone not going to win. So I'm afraid this will continue for some time as it looks today.
Hmm.
So
So,
the economies are going to go down further. Already it has happened. Imagine the Nord Stream 2 was sabotaged by all reports that come in now by the Americans themselves. And that was meant to feed your friend Germany and the rest of Europe.
hmm.
So superpower has no friend, it only has interests. They are now using that. So dinner, you can be Taliban's enemy tomorrow. Tomorrow you can be their friend. If it suits you, turn the argument on its head, and you're ready. So this is how it happens. Saddam Hussein was a great friend of the Americans.
Yes.
So was Gaddafi. What
Hmm.
happened to them?
Yes, true. That's true, sir.
So as Kissinger said, it's dangerous to be America's enemy, but it's fatal to be its friend.
Hmm.
So I'm
That's
very careful. I'm personally very careful about what the Americans can do,
hmm.
but others know better. What else?
So, sir, coming to the point of superpowers, as you mentioned, so various commentators suggest that India has the potential to become a superpower in the near future. So, how do you think how much true this statement is?
देखिए आज के दिन में तो it looks very good. Your economy is buoyant. You reach the moon,
Hmm.
and there's so
Yes.
many positive things happening. You won the you qualified in the 4x400 relay
Yes, sir.
for the World Games.
Today.
Your Prague's one did a great job. He almost beat #1 world chess player.
Hmm.
So
Right.
these are all these are all signs of great teamwork. ISRO's launch could not have been possible without that huge dedicated teamwork and the super confidence that even if we failed in Chandrayaan 2, we will show this live on international TV. That was the confidence,
Hmm.
the dedication. And who are these people? They're not people who went to, high educated abroad or anything. They're all local talent. It's all local talent which is coming out, getting together and delivering. It is the sign of an India, the B-town India growing. That's most of India. So there is a lot of positive movement in the country. And the present government is doing a lot for that. Many don't think so, but I do think that they're on the right track for most things. Economic reforms. This payment we do on Paytm,
Yes, sir.
UPI
Yes, sir.
payments, the Europeans don't understand what it is. They don't
Right.
know how to do it.
Hmm.
Yeah, we do it. Those are the kinds of things. We came out pretty well with COVID, right? So
Yes,
there
sir.
must be something right we're doing.
Hmm.
Look at our trains that look better. Look at our, we have more highways than we ever did before. It's not that we didn't have them before, but the pace of everything is much faster. And it's going to be exponential. So we have a chance now because our youth cohort is the best in the world. And this will last till 2047 or 49. Then we'll get into the aging population. So if we miss this, we miss it for 300 years. So we have to do it now. If you want to, whether we become number 1 or 2 or 3, we will be 3, I think, surely by 2030 or so, yes, as an economy. And if you have the money, you have the power. You have the power, you have more money. It's a good arrangement. But I think we are getting there. There will be a lot of obstacles. People are not going to be happy about it. As a European, I would wonder why China and Japan and India are going to corner the economy. What will happen to them?
Right, sir.
So it's going to be tough.
So,
Please go ahead, sir.
No, I think I've covered my thoughts on this. We will get there, but whether we're superpower 1 or not, I'm not. It's too far away for me to predict now. And anyways, I won't be around, so you guys will know.
So, sir, how do you think can India leverage this superpower status also?
You know, once you're powerful, once you have money, once you have military strength, that's an automatic leverage. But right now, you've got to make use. You know, there is the disillusionment with China. The economy is collapsing. So the supply chains are going to shift. So we've got to make it easier for them to shift to India, and quickly. It's a slow process. So if we can do that imaginatively, if we can make rules easy, if we can give the infrastructure faster, then we'll have made use of this opportunity which has come our way. Because the capacities in Europe are declining. Look at the way they're fighting in Africa for Niger and others for their uranium. So it is our time has come.
right.
You cannot miss it. You guys shouldn't miss it. You're going to be doing the heavy lifting now. And you know, I see a lot of pride in India now, among Indians. We didn't have it well. We sort of know that we can do it. Just get our act together. I only wish we had an opposition that really made a difference. A good opposition is the one which is, as they used to say in Britain, Her Majesty's loyal opposition. It is an opposition, but it's loyal to the country. We are don't mix the two. Don't mix the two. I mean, just because, you know, progress is incremental. I start something, my successor adds to it, his successor adds to it, and then it goes on. But I can't keep saying, oh, I did it first. No, he is the man who's doing it now. He's the man who won the cup. I may have started the team 20 years ago, but he's the one who brought the World Cup home. So that is how it should be. You know, we tend to get involved in, oh no, but Jawaharlal Nehru started this first. Okay, it was his time. He should have done it. That's right. But it is now that we reach the moon. It is this government that's done it. It could have been the Congress government could have done it too. So let's not politicize everything. It's an achievement, is an achievement. Just leave it there.
Right, sir. And it's really inspiring for all of us now.
I hope so. You guys got a lot of work to do.
Yes, sir, certainly. So, sir, how do you view? Yes.
Chess and javelin included, everything else.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. So, sir, how do you view the impact of geopolitical tensions on intelligence sharing and collaboration among different countries' intelligence agencies?
Tough question. I don't think I can answer it. It is, I can imagine it is difficult. I can imagine the crossing of wires. I can imagine the crossing of purposes. Intentions are one and actions are different. So all I can say is I'm glad I'm not in it anymore. Our life is much straighter and simpler. So these are things I wouldn't be able to talk about, quite honestly. Also because I don't know the intelligence world in India anymore. Because I don't interact. I'm not allowed, if I interact, I'm not allowed to say it. So it's a, and I don't want to say things which are incorrect or imagine that is how it would be, might be, could be. No. This is a thing that it's left to the experts to do it, those who are handling it themselves.
Right, sir.
Okay.
So, sir, it has been a great session, sir, and I'm sure everyone must have enjoyed listening to your experience as an intelligence agent, listening to your life stories, your inspirations, and all the things. So this event was under the Bharat Dialogue, which is a series of sessions we organize by BITS Embryo. This was conducted to celebrate the 77th Independence Day. So on a concluding note, I would like to know what Bharat means to you in 3 words, sir.
Mera Bharat Mahan.
Obviously, definitely, sir. That is the thing everyone must feel right now. So
Yeah.
all right, sir. So
okay, thank you for this talk.
Yes.
I enjoyed
So
myself. Always fun talking to youngsters.
same,
yes, sir. It
same,
was
same, sir.
a pleasure for us to host you today.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
on behalf of everyone at BITS Hyderabad, I would like to thank you for taking some time out of your schedule to be here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. God bless you both.
And I would also like to express my gratitude to our wonderful audience for joining our session today. And we hope to bring you more such sessions in the future. Till then, take care, stay safe, and Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind. Same to you, boys. Bye.
Thank you, sir.